So it is August 31st. It is the 14th, 15th garden video. I hope you enjoy it. It has been neglected in the last week or so. I've been harvesting so much. I've been preserving most of the harvest, and that's what I've been working on. But enjoy anyways. Look at that little fatty. Getting it all up in there. I'm about halfway through the garlic there. My morning glories are insane. So this is what I'm doing. This is like the after. Mind my shoes. They definitely look a lot prettier. And then we'll go over there. Those are my little garlics all strung up and they get to go inside. Those are the rejects that I'll probably make garlic powder out of. But I grabbed you because I think this one's gonna be a pretty one when it's done. And if you can find garlic that pretty at the grocery store, you should buy it. The garlic. I'm super excited. Last year I didn't grow enough, and so this year I went a little bit heavier, but I still don't think I have enough for seed garlic. I am buying my seed garlic. Usually I buy it from Court and Trev. They didn't have a good garlic year, so this year I'm on my own and Kijiji. But it's so pretty, like, oh. But I always have to have something weird hanging up in my porch because the neighbors will think I'm normal otherwise. Never. So I heard about this thing called leather britches. And apparently it's called that because when they get dry, they look like leather that's been exposed to water and then dried and it looks crinkly. But I hear it helps improve the flavor of the beans, and I have so many beans. So good news, I'm gonna try that. After seeing this one, I worry that I picked my other cauliflower too early because I thought it would go to seed like that one did. That one's an ugly one. But these two were the slow ones that weren't quite big enough, and now I've neglected them for weeks. And now just look at them. They're gorgeous. I should come out here and pick them. The lettuce experiment, I don't know if it worked or not. I don't see any coming up. Over there in the shade, I do see lots of things coming up, especially over there. I wanted to show you this. It's windy. Let's see if I can find it. Because I harvested the yellow cauliflower like 2 weeks ago. But as you can see, the white cauliflower is actually starting to make an appearance. I'm glad I didn't rip it out. But if you can remember what I planted here, because I don't, it's coming up quite well. I believe it was turnips. And I think I'll have some turnips coming along the sides here. But as it gets to the sun, again, you can see it doesn't want to germinate as well. The cabbages, which is fantastic. Scarlet runner beans, which are doing amazing things. Ember, don't bark at things, you're better than that. Look at them, they just keep going and going. And that oh, that cabbage is so pretty. Let's go. Yeah. You're gonna be a pretty cabbage. I don't think the bugs are messing with you. Those are my beans, doing good things. I picked some jalapenos. I had a friend come over and we just kind of went grocery shopping because I've been giving away food. And yeah, there's another one right there. If you have a favorite way to store carrots, tell me about it. Because I've tried packing them in wet sand and it just didn't work for me. I've tried leaving them in the ground until it froze, but then it froze hard and I couldn't get my shit out. It makes it look like a hunchback angel. Going in, I think I'm just gonna let this one fully mature and pick the seeds out of it because I think, like, it's giant. My goodness. And I like sunflower seeds. Stick now, she's so happy. She protected the house. Yes, there was a UPS gentleman and he had to know. He had to know that Ember needs attention. Very good. These are my cucumbers. They're looking amazing. Look at. Ah, gorgeous. Going down the rows again. Not as pretty, but the one is super awesome. And that squash is very cute. I've frozen about 10 pounds of beans. My freezer is full. I cannot freeze any more of these. So I've started pickling them. And I think I'm gonna start pressure canning them to see if I can do it that way because I'm running out of vinegar now too. But it's a good problem to have. Ember's super stoked about her stick. It's all good. Potato that flowered, so I was afraid it would die, but it doesn't seem to be dying. And at some point, I will dig it out, and we will have potatoes, hopefully. My corn. Let's talk about the corn. The corn was not strong enough to hold up the beans, so the corn has mostly broken. There's a couple still hanging in there, but the beans that are growing on here are so pretty. I might do it again, but with a different kind of corn. The Swiss chard that I just stepped on also is awesome. I love it. No, butternut squash. I do know that. The tomatoes I need to come out and pick. It's been 2 days. The San Marzanos, not a whole lot to look at, but they are super delicious. They're like a paste tomato. They taste like tomato paste right off the bat, which is amazing. I'm gonna mispronounce this, but it's Usa Blue is the name of this tomato. And you can see they're blue, obviously, and they're green on the bottom, but when they ripen, they go red on the bottom. It's still a little bit green. I'm gonna leave them, but they start, like where the green is, it starts to blush red, and that's how you know they're ready. Super impressed with this tomato. It's great. I don't know if I'll grow this tomato again, but it is interesting. It cracks readily, obviously, but this is the color it is when it's fully ripe because it is smooshy. It should probably come off right now, but I'm gonna do that later when I have a basket for it. But look at it. Oh wait, am I gonna harvest it right now? Because it seems like it wants to be. Grandma tomatoes, kicking butt. They're just doing tall things. Yeah, go guys. The German stripes, don't quote me, I'm not sure. But like this is kind of the color they are when they're ready. They go a little bit blush here, and this one's a little bit firm, so I'm gonna leave it, but in like a day it'll be ready. It doesn't go red. It's just this beautiful color, and it has like this variegation on it. When you cut into it, you get like these orange and red stripes, which are so pretty. Look at that butt crack. This is a fasciated blossom, obviously, but I've pulled a couple of grandma tomatoes off where it's just 2 separate tomatoes attached to the same blossom. And I think that's what's happening there. This is the privacy wall on the back side of the property. There's actually no neighbor directly behind here, and as you can see, these Jerusalem artichokes want to get powdery mildew. They want to get it super bad. So I think I'm going to dig all of these out. This is where the garlic was before, and I'm just going to dig out all the Jerusalem artichokes, give them away. My other neighbors want privacy too. And I'm just going to plant garlic on the whole back wall of this. This is where I planted the horseradish, and as you can see, it's doing stuff. It was like 3 measly little sprouts when I planted it, but I think it's going to come back every year. I love horseradish. I want it to take over like this whole fence line. That's weeds. And I think it'll be great. Going on. I've never seen, let's look. This I noticed earlier today. It is a sweet potato squash. They're just the prettiest, aren't they? I can't find that birdhouse gourd again, but like, even if the sweet potato squash kills it, they're super pretty. More sweet potato squash, going all the way up. That one is a butternut squash. Maybe. That one is a yellow zucchini. That one's an ember. That one is a pillow that I put underneath my fence so that my chickens don't get out in the daytime. They're wily. I planted chamomile in here. I don't think it's doing well. That was a weed that I thought was pretty and let it go. Strawberry plant. Asparagus. And there is strawberries planted in there as well, but mostly it's asparagus. This is my chamomile. That's my chamomile too. They're actually doing well and living and having flowers and stuff like you want chamomile to do. Rose of Sharon right there, and the color is actually quite pretty on it. But I know the morning glory is just going to take over everything, so I might rip it out before it goes to seed. I have no idea what you are, but you're very pretty. The echinacea's dying back. The black-eyed Suzus are like, no, I'll live. The sunflowers. I'm really loving the sunflowers. The bees seem to love them. And I think it just gives like a nice little, I'm standing right on the road right now. It gives a nice little thing for people driving by. Like, how pretty is that hydro line? So I hope you enjoyed it. Check back in next week. I'm sure I'll be doing something else. I will see you next week.